What makes me happy? The pursuit. It's in the little moments where you see something or feel something or hear something or do something. It's something important about having goals, I think. Success is a mixture of a lot of things. Because if you achieve your goals, then there always has to be something else after it. You do what you do, and hopefully if you have the right motivation and the right goals and the right people in mind, then somebody will look at you and say you're successful. When I was a kid, I remember, my father asked me these questions, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? How many kids do you want to have? What type of car? Blah, blah, blah. I told my father, I'll make it up as I go. And he gave me this weird look, just kind of said, oh, okay, all right. And that's kind of how I've gone about most things. The past 10 years, it's been a series of good choices and bad choices. A lot of the time, it's like a leap of faith. I don't believe in 10-year plans or anything like that. There was a scene from Star Wars, Phantom Menace, where young Anakin talks about the stars, and he's like, I want to see every single one of them. Now, obviously, I don't have the stars, but I have the countries and the places, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to explore. There's had to be something more. There was nothing keeping me there. There wasn't any relationship at the time. Father had already passed away. Brother, mother, they were doing their own thing. So I thought, well, while I'm young-ish, why don't I get out? Why don't I do something? Because at the end of the day, I can always go back and get into that again. So I gotta see what's out there. I was actually a really young manager. I was about to get into a fight with someone I worked with. If I feel like that's the case, I need to change something. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a plan. I just knew what I wanted to leave. I started going about the process of transferring. Hawaii and Alaska. As different as you can get. The first probably big decision of my life, and I chose Hawaii. I was there for a bit, but the job wasn't what I really wanted it to be. I left Hawaii, went back to my brother's place. I published a book of poetry because I was passionate about it at the time. And it was called The Dreamer's Disease. Found an organization I could volunteer with. Fiji was an eye-opener for me, and there was a culture shock for the first time in my life. But that did change my outlook on a lot of things. I slept on the floor. I sat and ate on the floor. I took cold showers for 3-4 months. I met a lot of interesting people. It's the first time I was exposed to a different language. The food was different, right? I remember not having meat until a cow accidentally killed itself. And I miss being able to walk and just peel a banana off a tree or a coconut off a tree and nobody cares. The night sky in Fiji, seeing my friend in the neighboring village, but he was inland, so I had to cross a river. But it wasn't a boat, it was tied together pieces of logs. Everything displayed it was just different, for a lot of different reasons. I just said, let me see where this takes me. And I said, where can I go? Okay, let's go to England, why not? And accents and people and mentality. And then of course weather, right? It's gray. You don't get sun. Everything is different. Then I said, where can I go? Okay, Italy. I was in a small city in the south. The food was great and the weather was good, and I met so many different people. The architecture, CS is cool in terms of a concept. Why not go to Egypt? Who can say they lived on a farm in Egypt? Technically, it's the most ancient of places that I have been. A completely different culture. And the history, of course. And the mentality and the way people spoke. That stuff you miss. And then I thought, okay, I've gone to the Arab world. Where can I go? It would be really challenging. Yeah, I made the decision and I got to Ukraine. I think we all like to think of ourselves as Indiana Jones and we're adventurers. But not many people really want to do that. For me, it just gave me perspective for a lot of different things. It made me feel well, there's nothing I can't do. I can survive. I can make it through any challenge. I remember not having a place to stay in England. It was January, it was cold as hell. And I wasn't dressed for it. I didn't have a proper coat. And I said, I have nowhere to sleep. And if I sleep outside, I might just die. And it's probably one of the few places I've been where I was genuinely, truly all alone. Completely alone. There's nobody there to console you. There's no friend to talk to, like it's going to be okay. There's no one to hug. There's no one that gives a shit. If I died right now, nobody would know. I walked from Manchester to Stockport. I just walked and walked and walked. But I made it to where I needed to be, and I didn't die. And the sun did come up. I still have fears about that sometimes, never going back to that, never being that again, never being that low again. There's a fear there, but fear can be a good motivator sometimes. Everything worked out for a reason, and I don't believe in coincidence. Things happen for a reason, but it's up to us to kind of make the right decision. At a certain point in life, you're kind of who you are early on. You just don't realize it. It's always funny to me because I've lived my life by what I said I would do when I was 7. I don't expect to just wake up one day and say, I'm in happiness now. The pursuit itself is what really makes you happy, and finding peace of mind and getting to a state where you feel confident that you made the right decisions. There are so many things I probably stepped into that maybe I didn't have the energy to do, but I thought, let me try it, right? Let me try football, let me try music, let me just do it, right? Just because, why not? If I talk about my plans for the future, where I might be in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I don't know, I'll just make it up as I go. The pursuit is what makes you happy.